Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm Nathan and this is my little YouTube account. I've created it just to store some, like, when I've filmed stuff in the past when I've been like having an episode or a delusion. Recently in the hospitals, like, they used to take the phones off you, and I think that's a good idea. I think they should take the phones off you still, because people can you can do a lot of like crazy shit when you got a phone on you. You just record stuff, or you'll send messages, or I think a lot of people probably do stuff they regret in hospital when they've got a phone on them, when they're having like an episode or they're in like the acute unit. It's like kind of like being drunk, I guess. Like when you get pissed up, you're not thinking straight and you'll send like messages or you'll do stuff and you'll kind of regret it later on. And I think they should take the phones off you in the hospital and just monitor or interact, not monitor, but I don't know. It's kind of like a grey area, I guess, because you can't. It's human rights of communication. But from being 60, probably it might be best if there was given like a normal phone that just does phone calls, where you can just make phone calls and no text messaging and things like that. Maybe because I don't know, you could probably just do as much damage making normal phone calls if you're going crazy and you're saying stupid things and saying like delusional things. You could probably just do as much damage making a phone call, I guess. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but that's the whole idea of these videos. Like I kind of have this idea in my head that I want to do like a diary, or just every month, just or whenever, really. I don't know. I don't want to. I just do videos whenever I kind of feel like it, or whenever I feel chilled enough, whenever I've had enough sleep and I feel like awake and I don't feel so tired. That's when I'll probably do videos. But like a diary or like a blog or things like that, I don't know. It's just for me because I think years to come, I'm gonna want to look back and watch stuff, or because I've got videos and things that I've recorded or written down when I was like 14, 15, and I look back at it and I don't write diaries down because my life's not that interesting. So I don't have much to say in a diary. Like I did try writing a diary and I thought, well, there's just nothing much to say here. But the only thing that really kind of like gives me something to talk about is just the stuff I've experienced when I've been like unwell in an hospital. Obviously, I've done normal things like going out and having friends and going to parties and nights out and drinking too much and doing too much of this and getting into trouble and just normal stuff, I'd guess. But I didn't do like a ton of it. I did like little bits. I've lived in my own place. Like I've had my own place. I managed my own bills and I've had jobs and things like that. I am too bad. I passed my test on my motorcycle when I was 20, and yeah, I haven't. I've done a little bit. I feel that I've done like I feel satisfied that I've experienced things, and I haven't like some people just probably is that isolated, or they've they're that they've got that many social phobias or something that they don't go out, and you hear people that just never go out at all, and like they've never been to a party, or they've never hung out with friends, or they've never got drunk, or they've never they've never drove a car, or things that they want to do and they haven't been able to do it, and that makes them feel like regret. That's the problem, is regret. I think I might twist it round in my own head so I don't like have regret about trying not to have so much regret about things. So yeah, I've kind of gone off the subject, just rambling, because I'm just chilling. Like I'm talking to you, whoever's listening, as if you sat next to me, or as if I've got like my CPN round and she's asking me questions, or she wants to know how I'm doing. That's kind of how I'm trying to talk. I don't want to like have like empty spaces, and I realised that I shouldn't be smoking cigarettes before I get on mic, because I think my lungs aren't that good as they are, because I've smoked since I've been about 16, and every time I think I started for a lot of years, for about 6, 7 years, for about no, about 3, 4 years, I only smoked about 3 cigarettes a day. That's all I smoked. And people with schizophrenia can get addicted to stuff. And I think I did. Because I only smoked, like, say, 3, 4 fags a day. Then when I went into hospital for the first time when I was 16, or 17, just after 17, I can't quite remember. But I wasn't smoking much. But when I came, as soon as I was in that hospital, I was that stressed out, and there was a smoking room, and they allowed smoke, and they allowed tobacco. You was allowed lighters and things like that. And there was a garden area you could go into smoke, and it was the one I was in. You could actually leave the premises because it wasn't fenced off. It was like a low secure unit, so you could just go to shops and things. They trusted you just to stay on the premises. They did, and if you left it, they'd catch you on camera. They'd just come out and get you. Or if you left, they'd just send the police out to you. They'd always have like a few police cars running around the general ones going around the area. So they'd always catch you because they'd just ring to say, "Oh, somebody's got a loose." Or there was always this one gentleman that my mother remembers telling me about. That I remember my mother telling me about. And every like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he'd always escape. And he'd go in the middle of the road and he'd start praying. And they always used to have to come and get him, but literally the amount of cars and accidents near he caused, it was unreal. But that's why they had to shut that unit down, because it didn't fall to like the standard, the grade. It didn't like make the grade for security and things like that. And so it eventually just turned into offices just for the local NHS, the mental health team and that, young and adult and such. And yeah, it turned into that, and it stopped being where you could go in and get treatment and have a bed and that. It stopped being like a normal ward where you could get treatment, which I miss because that was one of that hospital, that little unit was really good. I enjoyed being in there when I was younger. But like I say, but when I came out, I started off, I was smoking that much. When I came out, I ended up smoking, I was doubled, so I was double the amount I smoked. And every time I've been in and out of hospital, and every time I come out, my smoking's increased. And I'm smoking more and more and more. And because they say people with schizophrenia don't necessarily die from schizophrenia. They die from like the symptoms or the lifestyle choices that you're drawn to. You can be drawn to like drugs, TV, movies, or dangerous lifestyles, or I don't know. But they say it's not actually the disease that kills you; it's the symptoms. Or you could just think you can fly and you'll jump off a building because you're having an episode one day and you think you can fly, or you'll do something really bad, or you'll hurt yourself. But addiction's a problem with schizophrenia. I think people, it's what a lot of sources that I've read have said that it's addiction and schizophrenia. Like you can get easily addicted to things, and it's hard to break the habit. Like I don't necessarily need a cigarette all the time, and I don't need to smoke my smoke or my weed all the time, but I do. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Like weed and they say to me, cannabis, you shouldn't smoke cannabis because it'll make you unwell and it'll send you back into an episode and you'll be back in hospital before you know it. And that's kind of the odd thing that they always told me when I'd come out, the doctors and stuff. And I didn't smoke weed for a lot of years from being about 21 to being about 20, 24, 25. No, it's been 21, 22, 23. It's hard to remember the dates properly and remember them accurately, but I stopped smoking it for a lot of years, and I I was still in hospital. I still got unwell, even though I wasn't smoking it. So I can't say that the cannabis is like the precursor a, to an episode or a manic state. I can't say that the weed causes it because I didn't. I must not have smoked it for at least 4 or 5 years, and I still got unwell, and I still was in hospital. And then I've smoked it for the past, I think about 2.5, 3 years, and I haven't really had any serious problems. Like I haven't really been. I've noticed since my periperidol injection that I haven't been getting as manic. I haven't been getting as down. I've actually been a lot calmer. I keep my place a lot cleaner. I keep myself a lot cleaner. And I think I'm doing better than I was before. Like I wasn't like I used to get these intrusive thoughts at night of like weird stuff and just creepy. Kind of like if you're camping in the woods and you hear noises. It's like that, but it's like that in your own bed when everything's comfortable and you're in a safe place. You still get these like creep, like is something there. But I think that's common. Yeah, so I'm gonna get off. Oh no, it's going on for about, this video has been, if you've got to this stage of listening, it's been going on for about 11 minutes. I'm not going to edit anything out. Like, sometimes I edit stuff out, but I'm just going to leave this so it's like a natural recording. So, I'm just drinking some energy drink boost, sugar free, because the sugar, I've noticed like I was putting on a lot of weight with medication, eating too much with it, but since I've moved on to the sugar free boost, I've actually lost a lot of weight. So I think a lot of it was down to the energy drink I was drinking. But energy drink, yeah, it's not good for you. Well, I can't think what it's got in it half the time, like taurine and all sorts of acids and shit. But yeah, I like my energy drink. I drink like 2 bottles a day, one in the morning, one at night. That's only because I get about 3, 4 hours sleep. So I'm up constantly needing the loo. I keep going to the doctors trying to get it sorted, trying to get seen to, but now they just keep saying to me, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to refer you here," and 6 months later you might get a phone call and they might try, "Oh, we're gonna try you on this medication now," and stuff like that. Or you got to have this procedure done and stuff. So yeah, it's just been a process. But I'm kind of just about surviving on what little sleep I'm getting. So that's why I kind of don't really have the energy to do any talk of it, do any like get on mic or say anything to do a video. I've lost track of what the whole point of this. Oh, was it to do a diary? I can't remember. But yeah, I'm gonna get off mic now because there's something I need to do on Facebook to make my videos longer, and I'm not sure what that is. My friend did tell me, but I've kind of forgotten now. But I don't mind with 40-minute long videos or 15-minute long, and I don't really want to quickly squeeze in what I have a bit of more what I've got to say in the last couple of minutes. So yeah, I hope if you've got to the end. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a good day or a good night. Stay safe and be good to each other. Goodbye.